Welcome to Catalyst, a program about people, ideas, issues, and conversations around them.
Welcome to Catalyst. I'm your host, Jess Wilson, and I'm joined in the studio this afternoon by Nitti Sachdeva. Nitti is a resident of South Burlington and the owner of a business called Deva Naturals. She's joining us today to share a little bit more about her traditional Indian culture, and we're going to focus on turbans. Welcome, Nitti. Thanks so much for joining us again here on Catalyst.
Thanks for having me.
So last time you visited with us, we learned a little bit about saris and how to tie a sari, and you brought some beautiful ones with you, and that was really educational. And today we're going to chat a little bit about turbans. And can you talk to me a little bit about the significance of the turban in your culture?
Turbans, I've grown up with all our men wearing turbans. We are from the Sikh culture, and the Sikh culture originated in North India, and most men, all Sikhs usually wear turbans. It's an identity for the culture, for the religion, and basically, because our men keep their hair long, so they wear a turban to keep it neat and tidy, and that's basically, so it's an identity for the culture, for the religion.
And that's one of the tenets of the religion as well, that you don't cut your hair.
Right.
If you are observant of it.
Yes.
Great. And turbans play a role certainly in religious ceremonies and weddings and things like that. Can you speak to that?
Sure. Turbans in India, they are really celebratory. So for weddings and for formal occasions, or as a significant role, as the significant role of a person gets more and more important in terms of like the head of the family and things like that.
Yep.
Then those guys wear turbans. Or then if it's a wedding and then there's a bride and the groom will wear a turban. Doesn't have to be a Sikh. Lots of Hindus and other people wear turbans as well in celebratory occasions. In the olden days, the Maharajas, the kings, and some queens as well wore turbans. So yeah.
So it does have a lot of religious significance then. Yeah,
it does. It does. For the Sikhs especially, because it is an identity. You can spot a Sikh person from miles, who's that guy? That one, the one with the turban, and so yeah.
And do you think there's a lot of confusion about that? I think that maybe in some Western cultures, like here, people see a turban and they don't understand the significance to it.
Yeah, there is a lot of confusion still, I think. A lot of people misunderstand or do not know that turbans, this particular kind of turban is for the Sikhs who come from North India, and it's a Sikh religion. People confuse them with being Muslim, or sometimes you get mean thoughts and comments about our men wearing turbans. And I just wanted to take this opportunity to clarify that it's a garb. It's identity thing that North Indians, the Sikh religion, wear turban. Not all people who wear turbans are Muslims or Sikhs. However, in Vermont, I have seen only 3 to 4, well, I should say more than 3 because there are 3 in my family. I have seen about five Sikh men with turbans. So I would say majority of the turban wearers in Vermont are Sikhs. I could be wrong, but that's what I have seen.
And do the men in your family wear them regularly?
Yeah, they do. The children wear mini turbans, and those are called patkas. And patkas are just basically a rectangle cloth that helps cover the hair and kind of gives you a neat and tidy, clean look. Because like I said, the men have long hair, and if they just let it go, you can look pretty rowdy. So, yeah.
It helps protect your hair and keep it under control.
Yeah.
Great. And what has their experience been of wearing a turban in Vermont?
So far, it's been pretty good. Interestingly, we did get a few phone calls, prank calls, a few years ago, and they just wouldn't go away. And so I contacted a police officer, and we made it work, and they stopped coming. But other than that, other than people just being curious, or sometimes people have interesting comments about, what's that hat on your head? Is that a hat? Or what's that, what you're wearing on your head, or that kind of stuff. I think it's just really an education thing. So it's been pretty good so far. Vermont is pretty open and friendly and receiving and curious, and we all should be curious, and it's great to ask questions. But so I guess I figured I'd do something like this and educate anyone if I can.
Do you think there's a lot of misunderstanding about the Sikh religion, or people just, it's a lack of awareness?
It is a lack of awareness.
About, the belief system and...
Yeah, it is a lack of awareness. Sikhs are very open-minded, and I think I dare say that we are one of the few religions who believe in equality in men and women, and very peace-loving people. And so when there are comments that are hurtful, that seems to bother a lot of people. So yeah, it is basically unawareness. It's not, I don't believe that people are intentionally mean, but because of unawareness and sometimes because of misunderstandings, one can hurt each other's feelings, and it's I'd much rather people just go ahead and ask me, what's that? And usually when one time I was walking in Rhode Island, and a kid asked me, commented actually on one of our kids, that what does he have on his head? What's that ball on his head or something? And I just went to the person and I said, hi, my name is Nitti, and I'd love to talk to you about what my child has on his head. Mm-hmm. And then I told him, I said, it's just really the hair that we tie up in a knot, and then that's the piece of cloth that we call a turban. And the guy was very receptive, and I did appreciate him asking, but would be nice if people would ask it in a nice way rather than rather than implying whatever it is that they imply.
Right. Well, you've brought in a turban with you today, and it is already tied, and if it were untied, we're looking at a piece of fabric that's 4 to 5 feet long.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, usually what happens is that there are two people who hold the ends of the turban and they fold it. So it's like this wide piece of a cloth and about 4 feet long, I think, if not more. And then so you just roll the turban into a little band like that, and then you kind of tie it around your head.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you've brought one with you here today, and already tied. And will you show us how you would put that on your head?
Sure. Yeah. I'm just going to put my hair up in a knot so people can see. And please be aware that there's no mirror here, so I might be making some mistakes.
We're challenging you.
Yeah. So, basically, the men, like I said, they have long hair. So they just tie the hair up in a knot like that.
Right on the top of your head.
Yeah, right on the top. And most people tie it on the top, but a lot of people have started going a little bit lower, so it's not as prominent. And then my husband told me to be very careful because it does unravel pretty easily. and then you just take your turban and you put it in like that.
That's
I don't know how nicely or unnicely it's come. Please forgive me.
I think you've done well. You put a little hair sticking out on this side.
Yeah,
and
I guess they take a
it's-
little pin or a pen or something, and then they put the hair in the back or something like that. And then like you see this little bulge here. This is what, it's just my hair. It's we're not putting any whatever.
Do you mind leaning your head down again just for a moment to show
Sure,
our
sure.
audience? That you
Yeah,
can see that?
see here's the knot of my hair. And then you just take the thing and you cover it like
Cover it
that.
up. Oh, well,
Yeah.
thanks for showing that to us.
Yeah.
So you don't normally wear one?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. Long time back, women did.
Yep.
And even today, actually, a friend of mine, a Caucasian like yourself, I don't know if she has converted or not, but she's joined a group, I think, who does a lot of hymns and things in Punjabi or in the Sikh religion. And she has started wearing a turban, and she wears a white one. And, I guess each to own. It really depends on who wants to and who doesn't want to. And I just, in my family, my parents, my mom never tied a turban. My grandma never tied a turban. So, we don't either as girls, but the guys do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that something that in India is a mandated part of the Sikh religion, that the men do wear turbans?
Yeah,
Yep.
any Sikh man who has long hair, it's not mandated, but
It's not,
is,
okay.
again, it's an identity. It's an identity for being a Sikh. Lots of youngsters and people, when they go, go-karting and they have to wear helmets and things, they just tie the hair down in a ponytail or, a bun at the nape of their neck and things like that. But usually when you go to a gurdwara, which is a Sikh church, the men wear turbans and the women cover their hair with a scarf. So, yeah.
And is there an active community here in Vermont? Or perhaps not if you've told me you've only seen 5 other people and many of them are members of your family.
Yeah. We tried to get people together to, for some, like in the Indian Association and things like that. It's difficult. We don't have a go-to place.
To worship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we started doing it in each other's homes and things like that. But again, it became really difficult. So I think it's been a year we haven't done any prayers or whatever like that.
Are you finding it hard? And of course, you shared with us in our last visit that you've lived all over the world. But do you find it hard to hold on to your culture here?
For me, it's not too much of a problem. For the boys, I think when we first came to Vermont, one of my sons made a comment saying that I feel like chocolate and milk. And, I said it's a pretty delicious combination.
There you have it.
So just enjoy it and make the best of it, and it's good for you.
Yeah.
So, you take everything in a positive way. You look at the abundance rather than the lack. And, that's it. I mean, there's no other way to go, really, in my opinion.
Right. Well, we really appreciate the time that you've been taking to just come here and share a little bit with us and show us. Is there anything that I failed to ask you about, or that you wanted to share on this topic? Or we've ranged a little bit, but
yeah. I think we're okay. Like I said, basically, in summary, to summarize, Sikhs are from North India, and they're not Muslims or Hindus. The men have their hair long, and they wear turbans as an identity thing, and really that's about it. That's about it, and it's a celebratory thing. When I put on a turban, I'm sure. I don't know if I can speak for anyone else, but when I put on a turban, I feel more confident. I feel more in charge. I walk straight. It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. So, just appreciate each other and respect each other, and that's all. It's all good. It's all good.
Great. Well, Nitti, thank you so much again for joining us in the studio today and visiting with us a bit and educating us. It's very much appreciated.
Sure, I enjoyed it.
Well, we want to also say thank you very much for watching this episode of Catalyst. That's going to do it here at RETN for this episode of Catalyst. I'm Jess Wilson. Thanks for watching.